Hi, my name is Bob Hill. I'm the president of the Church of Scientology, Mission of Riverdale at 308 Broadview Avenue in Toronto. This is sermon number 44 that we're doing online. It's been almost a year since we started doing these with this COVID situation, but we're getting it out to you, and that's the main thing. Now, Scientology is a practical religion. It teaches a person how to know. That's what the word Scientology means, knowing how to know. Now, the reason why I bring that up every week is because I'm hoping that if you listen to these sermons, you'll take the data and that will help you to know, and you will assimilate that data for yourself. Okay? Great. Now, the question today is, are you educated? Do you know how to think for yourself and find truth? Well, we're going to take up a sermon today from the writings of L. Ron Hubbard, and it's coming from the book, Scientology, A New Slant on Life. This should help you to be able to educate yourself and to be able to think for yourself and find truth. Okay? Now, from the book by Mr. Hubbard, data is your data only so long as you have evaluated it. So what does that mean exactly? Only so long as you have evaluated. Well, you get some data, you get some information, and you compare it to other information you may have, and you compare it against maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, and you accept it as correct data or you accept it as false data. The thing to do is make sure you evaluate it and apply your basic logic and your basic understanding to it so that you can make it your own. So data is your data only so long as you have evaluated it. Now, in our school system and in our education systems, it is your data by authority. In other words, this is the data, you must follow this. Or, in the case I just read, it is your data because you evaluated it. If it is your data by authority, somebody has forced it upon you. Now you can say, well, what does that mean? Well, simply meant, turn on your television set, watch a news station, and see that data that they're throwing at you. And if you just sit there and have it funnel into you without evaluating it against true facts or true datums that you may have, or simply maybe it just doesn't feel right, then it's probably not true, but it's being forced upon you. Of course, if you asked a question of a man whom you thought knew his business and he gave you his answer, that datum was not forced upon you. So you ask a guy a question about his business, and he's a professional in that business, and he answers your question. Well, that data is not forced on you. But if you went away from him believing from then on that such a datum existed without taking the trouble to investigate the answer for yourself, without comparing it to the known universe, things around you, you're falling short of completing the cycle of learning. So you get the data, you see how it works in the environment around you, the universe around you, you see that it works, then it becomes your data. You see that it doesn't work, well, disregard it. But if you want to learn fully, you'll take that data and compare it to the known universe. You coming along with me so far? I think you are. Now, when a man tries to erect the plans of a lifetime or a profession on data which he himself has never evaluated, he cannot possibly succeed. So you see that. You see some guy, he wants to go and do something, but he's never really evaluated what he wants to do. 9 times out of 10 he fails. Fundamentals are very, very important. But first of all, one must learn how to think in order to be absolutely sure of fundamentals. Thinking is not particularly hard to learn. It consists merely of comparing a particular datum with the physical universe as it is known and observed. Now, a datum in the physical universe could be when the lights are on, it's not dark, because the lights give you the ability to see. So that datum you can use, so you can think with that. Another datum may be when I turn the stove on, the burner is hot and I shouldn't put my hand on it. I can think with that because the burner's hot. Another datum in the physical universe, or that you could use to have you thinking correctly, is whenever I get around that particular communication that's coming from that person, I feel kind of ill. Well, you can think with that and realize that maybe that communication coming from that person is not particularly good for you. You can think with it. At the very least, it causes you to feel ill, so you don't want to be around it. When there is an authoritarian basis for education, you are not truly educated. Now, in our education system, we don't necessarily teach people how to think or how to learn or how to observe. We teach them how to be a certain way or fit into the environment. So authoritarianism is little more than a form of hypnotism. Learning is forced under threat of some form of punishment. A student is stuffed with data which is not being individually evaluated, just as a taxidermist would stuff a snake. Such a student will be well informed and well educated according to present day standards, but unfortunately, he will not be very successful in his chosen profession. So you stuff him with these datums under threat. If you don't do it this way, then you're going to go to the principal, or you're a rebel and you got to stop acting that way. You must fit into the mold. Well, that guy's not necessarily going to succeed. And when we say succeed, he might not be very happy with how his life ends up. Indecision underlies an authoritarianism statement. Do not allow your education to lie on the quicksand of indecision. Okay? So evaluate your data, learn to think for yourself, take in the data. It either fits, it either works, compare it to the universe around you. If it doesn't fit in, then it's probably not going to work for you. Don't just buy it. All right? Good stuff. I'll now read to you the Creed of the Church of Scientology. Now apply that to this creed. So when I'm giving you the creed of the church, see if those datums can apply for you. See if they apply to the physical universe around you and compare them. Make them your own. We of the church believe that all men of whatever race, color, or creed were created with equal rights. That all men have inalienable rights to their own religious practices and their performance. That all men have inalienable rights to their own lives. That all men have inalienable rights to their sanity. That all men have inalienable rights to their own defense. That all men have inalienable rights to conceive, choose, assist, or support their own organizations, churches, and governments. That all men have inalienable rights to think freely, to talk freely, to write freely their own opinions, and to counter or utter or write upon the opinions of others. That all men have inalienable rights to the creation of their own kind. That the souls of men have the rights of men. Try comparing that one. That the souls of men have the rights of men. Shouldn't you or me or anyone else have the rights of men? Why not? That the study of the mind and the healing of mentally caused ills should not be alienated from religion or condoned in non-religious fields, and that no agency less than God has the power to suspend or set aside these rights overtly or covertly. And we of the church believe that man is basically good, that he is seeking to survive, that his survival depends upon himself and upon his fellows and his attainment of brotherhood with the universe. And we of the church believe that the laws of God forbid man to destroy his own kind, to destroy the sanity of another, to destroy or enslave another's soul, to destroy or reduce the survival of one's companions or one's group. And we of the church believe that the spirit can be saved, and that the spirit alone may save or heal the body. Thank you. That's it for today's sermon. Now, how you can stay out of the quicksand of indecision that I read to you, I invite you to stop memorizing data and start observing your world. Compare what you have learned with the known universe. Only with these principles of education in mind can you become a truly educated individual. That's today's sermon. Learn more about life by reading the Scientology Handbook or Scientology New Slant on Life, and help yourself and others. Join us next Sunday for more ways to improve life. Thank you.